So this video is talking about the two errors that I see all the time in the C major scale fingering. So let's start with a short review of what the fingerings are in hands separately. Let's start with the left hand. And we got the fingering from basically using up all of our fingers up in a row, which is the most efficient way to do it, and then we only need 3 more to finish the octave. So we flip to a 3 right here. And if you want to keep going for another octave, you treat the 1 as if it were a 5, like this 5 back here, and then you keep going. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. The fingering is exactly the same in the right hand, actually, if you think about your hands as mirror images. So what you do is you start from 5, use all your fingers in a row, and then flip over to 3 here to finish out the octave. And same thing here, if you want to keep going past the octave, instead of a 5, which is hard to switch over, you substitute a 1, just like this one, and keep going. 1, 2, 3, gotta flip, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so those are the two scale fingerings, just to review. Now the problem comes, of course, when you're going in the same direction. Let's imagine that both of these hands are playing in different octaves, but I've superimposed them to show you how the errors occur. So basically what happens is your head really wants to match fingers. So when you get to the 3s here, these match, and this is totally okay. Your brain is fine with that. But this, I'll do it in a different color. These mismatches are really difficult for your head to do. 1 against 2, 1 against 2 here. So what I see all the time is people forget to flip here in the right hand, and they'll put a 4 here, and then they'll put a 1 here, and look at that, you have a 1 matching here. And you don't even know you're doing this, but you're subconsciously doing that so you can match your fingers right here. You've missed the turn off here, as it were. And so that's why going up your right hand is usually the source of the problem. So let's look at the issues coming down. As you might expect, going down your left hand is the problem. So what you do is, let's say you start, let's start over here and go backwards. What you do is you miss the turn off here, and then you put a 4th finger down here, and then you switch to a 1 here, which feels great, right? Because you've got 1s matching here, but you've already, like before, missed the turn off, and the rest of this fingering going down is just going to be wrong, yeah? So these are the two mistakes I see all the time. It happens from either forgetting to flip on these key fingers, which is always a 3, and wanting to match these fingers, which are supposedly not supposed to match at all. And the other mistake that I see is a lesser mistake, but still happens all the time. So let's clear some of this so you can have a clear slate. And put the fingerings back in. So you see at certain points you have the choice of flipping from your 1 to either a 4 or a 1 to a 3. Mixing up the 4 and the 3 will get you every single time. So remember that the 3 is internal to the scale. The 4 is right after your tonic. So think about needing 4 fingers, more fingers, to hike up to the end of the scale. And then, as we talked about before, you only need 3 more internal to the scale to finish out the octave. Same thing coming down in the right hand. Let me clear some of this. Put the fingering back in. Okay, so after 1, you're either flipping to 3 or you're flipping to 4. Same thing. Only go to 4 when you've hit the tonic. so that you can hike your way down to the end of the scale. If you're internal to the octave, you only need 3 fingers. Do not put a 4 here. Same thing, do not put a 3 here. You're going to run out of fingers. And if you put a 4 here, you're going to have too many fingers. So those are basically the errors that I see all the time. Check your scale, and if something happens, first identify which hand it's in, and whether you're going up in the scale or down in the scale, and I guarantee you it's going to be one of these kinds of errors.